Hey guys and gals, Derpy Dash Blaziken here, and I just recently woke up, had breakfast, about to get in the shower and shit, so that's why I don't have anything on at the moment, but whatevers. I'm here to talk about a really serious and fucking dark subject, that being bullying. And those who were on James R. Bastard's Hitbox last night, during the TeamSpeak discussion last night, which actually progressed through to like 1 a.m. this morning, one of the topics that ended up coming up was bullying and your experiences with it. Well, I'll come right out and say I was not only the victim, but I've actually been the bully at one point. And I'll admit to that. When I was like 3 or 4 years old in preschool, I got kicked out a bunch of times. Mostly due to the fact that I would pick fights, I would beat up kids, the whole nine. And let's just say, in some weird turnabout way, karma took a huge bitch slap at me, if you will. Because upon middle school, I was the one having all that shit done to. Some would say, yeah, you kind of deserved it for the shit you did in preschool, but, you know, I don't think. I never thought of karma at that time. I just thought it was a weird coincidence. And I'm not racist in any means, but the school I went to was predominantly black. And that was a good majority of the student base, and white students were we the fucking minority. And this was in the 7th grade, and I had just about everything bad done to me by bullies that you could think of that would end up happening. Everything from being thrown into a dumpster to thrown, or I got constantly slapped in the back of the freaking head by some random kid. I eventually caught the motherfucker and held him in a chokehold like this around his neck, and basically told the teacher to take him the hell out. And because I just about had enough. Surprisingly, that didn't get me expelled. I got pretty close to actually getting expelled twice. Mostly because I eventually snapped on that kid. But then, the same group of kids, which thought I said the N-word, which I never did. And the most screwed up thing is this one kid, and his friends, they would constantly throw paper towels into my stall. After lunch, we would all go to the restroom, take a shit, take a piss, that whole nine. And I would always get like paper towels thrown into the stall I went into, no matter which one I went into. It was the same thing. And by the time I came out, they would all ambush me and try to beat me up and stuff of that nature. So eventually there was one day I completely snapped when one of them managed to unlock the door from the outside. I don't know if he used like his own house key or some weird nonsense, but managed to unlock the stall door from the outside, started to barge in. I had my pants halfway up at this point, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. I didn't actually say that, but that was what was going through my mind. And I completely bashed this kid's head in between the door and the lock piece, or where the lock piece would actually go in. I slammed his head pretty fucking hard. Like, I ended up having this kid end up going to the hospital to get stitches. Mind you, and this same group of kids was also the same ones that rode with me to and from school on the same fucking van every morning and every afternoon. And so, eventually I just snapped. I was just like, I've had enough. This is bullshit. And I never got expelled for it. I pretty much took a self-defense stance on this whole thing, which it legitimately was. I mean, the kid fucking barged in on me when I was on the shitter, okay? What else would end up going through your mind? Especially if it was the same kid that always teased you, beat you up, and did all these mean things to you. Eventually someone's going to snap. And granted, I contemplated suicide once, so, because of this. And so I was like, no, instead of killing myself, I'm just going to eventually, when I do snap, that wasn't Columbine or anything, but I basically bashed a kid's head in. Almost killed a motherfucker. So, and which, dare I say it, but I'd almost encourage any kid who's getting bullied, don't do what I did. Beg your parents and tell them this, okay? Get yourself a PSP, or if you have the 3DS, which a lot of kids do, and I think a good majority of you have a freaking iPhone or Android. Get yourself a Google Play card, or Apple card, or whatever. Or go down to a thrift shop or something, and pick yourself up a copy of any of the 3D Grand Theft Auto games. Reason I'm saying this, and even if you sneak it behind your parents' back, this is actually a beneficial thing, because this is slightly what saved me from trouble, in a sense. Whenever I felt like decking some kid in the face, I would just wait till I got on the bus to go back home, and I would play GTA on the way back home on the PSP, or the DS at the time as well. I had both. So I had Chinatown Wars and Vice City and Liberty City Stories. And, and I would just beat up on the cops, prostitutes, pedestrians, the whole nine that you can do in GTA. I did all of that to basically get my anger out. And it's like, it was complete therapy to me. So, in a lot of ways, video games are a good thing. And that's what I'm also getting at. Is that games like that can help you get over the bully situation. Granted, it may not work for everybody, but it did for me. But this is just a show. That was the darkest time of my life, and my whole thing is through high school is basically to be the nice guy, regardless. And I just don't put up with bullies. And if it has to come to it, and you've tried everything else, you've tried telling your teacher, your parents, everything, even the principal, and they do shit all. Make a fucking rant on YouTube. Call the kid out on Snapchat. I don't care what you do. Call them out on social media. And on top of that, if it comes down to it, and you've had enough, and you feel like there's no other option, they're actually physically attacking you, attack back. Just no fucks given. Just attack them back, because at that point, either way, you'll end up getting suspended too, but you'll be on the grounds of self-defense, legitimately. And I'm not saying, fists and feet, no guns. No one needs that. But, so the bullies, stop doing what you're doing. And to the kids who are getting bullied, take whatever action you feel means necessary to take care of your situation. And to the friends of the kids getting bullied, team up with him. Make him feel good. Be a good friend. And if he needs help with the problem, help him out in any means necessary. I'm Deputy CJ Boyskin. Signing out.